All right, what up, YouTube? This is No Cap, No Filter Saints. I'm your host, Marlon G. Back at y'all with another one. I got Marlon in the building. Got a lot to talk about, man. The offseason is about to get ready to ramp up. The Saints are looking to build upon the season that we had, man. All hopes are high for the Saints fan base right now. I think as a collective, we at a point where we like where we at right now. I think most people in the fan base they pretty much like the head coach and quarterback combo, and that's what we just been asking for. We just been asking for hope. We still got to see more. You always want to give a coach and a quarterback a good 3 years to really just make your full evaluation. We already see what's going on with Bryce Young. We already see what's going on with CJ Stroud. So it's always good to have a good 3 years. But in the meantime, we liking what we seeing right now. So we just gonna have to just cover a lot of things, man. First and foremost, Marlon, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Just had a
All
lot
right.
of time to, decompress. The season been over for what, like 7 weeks now. So
Mm-hmm.
6, 7 weeks. So it's a lot of time to cool off. But now the off season about to start, which is my favorite part of the NFL calendar.
Okay.
Just as much I like the off season just as much as the games. But
Yeah, man. A lot of fans are like you. The the building of the team. They like to see who's gonna get in the office. They like to see who's gonna get on the coaching staff. See what is looking like in the combine and the draft. They like to see everything that's going on with the blueprint before it actually unfolds. And a lot of fans they just want that finished product. But you definitely are one of them fans who trust the process. But
mhm.
before we get into everything that's going on with the off season, we got to get into some of the biggest news right now. Um, Want to know what you think about Drew Brees, man. He finally just got into that Hall of Fame, 2026. A lot of fans was happy. I want to know what your initial reaction was and, you know, how's it feel just to, have the quarterback in that Hall of Fame for this franchise finally. And hopefully, Shuck can follow in his footsteps.
I'll let Shuck just be young. I ain't gonna do the whole Breeze thing, but it was cool to see it. I feel like it solidified. Well, we obviously know him as one of the best QBs ever. Now, whether you want to put him wherever you want to put him, I just know he a top 10 quarterback in my eyes, and I feel like we can win every game with him. Other than like one game, I never felt like we was out of a game with him. Other than like one of them times we played like Seattle that leads in the boom team. That's the only time I ever thought, oh, it don't matter who's playing QB tonight. But for 15 years, I was comfortable. And we ain't gonna probably ever get a player like that. But I'm just thankful I got the experience it because like that's a once in a like lifetime player for a franchise. And
Hmm.
shit, he saved football here.
Yeah, man. Him when he got here, everything just lined up. We got him. We got Reggie in the draft. That I think Reggie brought so many fans to New Orleans. Like
Yeah,
I think it
he
was a lot of kids that wasn't even from New Orleans who just
yeah.
became
I be
fans of the
I
Saints. And go ahead.
I fought my fault. I was cutting out or cutting you off, but you can finish.
Well, I was just gonna say, I think it lined up perfectly because we got Drew. Luckily, he wasn't as injured as we thought, and it was just a perfect mesh with Sean Payton. I'm one of the people who think, there's no Sean Payton without Drew, there's no Drew without Sean Payton. I just think they lined up perfectly, together at the point of their careers, and then you bring in Reggie Bush. He brought a lot of spark to the team. He brought in a
Yeah,
whole lot of fans to the team. It was people who wasn't even following the Saints or from New Orleans who became fans of the Saints because they was just that big of a fan of Reggie Bush in college, and they played with him on the game and they just like
yeah.
playing with a
He
player
one of
like
the
that. He was just so
he one of the
electrifying.
first players I remember, first college players I remember probably because I
Hmm.
think he got the USC when I was in first grade, so I was just like an LSU fan, but like I knew who Reggie Bush was. So
Hmm.
first or only 2003 for first, second, third grade, like everybody knew who Reggie Bush was. I do think that he was 10 years too early. I think that he can do all the stuff that CMC and them do or like Bijan do now if he was just born 10 years later. he fit
Mm.
that he fit today's game. But like, yeah, he brought a lot of fans here. I think he probably brought more fanfare than what Breeze did. Like, because that's probably the most popular college player I can remember. Like,
I mean,
man,
it,
he was with like,
Kim Kardashian.
yeah, my uncle went to a game before at the suite and went to a game because I think uh somebody, his old wife, like had a relative that was like related to Will Smith um wife, and that's how they got in the suite. They met Kim Kardashian at a game in like '08. So
Mm,
he was that like he was that type of player. And he brought a lot of fans. I know dudes who from San Diego who like been Saints fans for the last 20 years just because they took Reggie Bush. Like they
mm,
skipped the Chargers and everything.
yeah.
They skipped the Chargers. They didn't go to the Raiders. They didn't go to Frisco. They just been Saints fans as kids and grew up as adults because of like Reggie Bush. So I ain't gonna lie. That's why like Bush importance to the Saints, it go beyond football. He like legit got them the buzz that they needed. And then Breeze and Peyton, they took it and did what they had to do with it and gave us 15 years of relevance.
Mm. Yeah, man.
But
It'd be fun.
I also think his Hall of Fame candidacy, I feel like it's a closing of the chapter. Like
Yeah.
I think that we starting to get more into it. Like I get into it more, but like I think the Saints finally gonna be starting to part with pieces and close that whole Breeze chapter completely. Obviously Mickey's still here, but like I get into it more.
Mm. Yeah, man. Breeze, he definitely gave a lot of people a lot of memories. It would have been very nice for him to get at least one more ring. I always think about what would have happened if the Beast Quake never happened. What would have
Oh
happened if
no,
the
we wasn't
Verdant?
the beast quake. I'll put that one over. But the Vernon Davis game is the one I always think about.
Yeah, that Vernon Davis game, that game literally made me cry after that game because I knew we was just gonna beat the Giants, bro. I knew we was just gonna beat the
Yeah,
Patriots. I knew I was just so confident that Minneapolis Miracle. I don't know. We beat the Patriots that
yeah.
year.
I don't think we beat the Eagles that year. Me personally, just because I
Uh,
think that that Saints team, dude, they had like people. I think if it get ignored, they had like six dudes on defense that had got there in December starting. Like that's not. It, they was just punching above their weight class. But the young dudes on the team had like they had so much heart that maybe they could have did it, but
mhm.
it would have been hard to do.
Yeah. What else? The
No
Bucks
call.
game. The
Oh,
Bucks game.
that
We
Bucks
probably had
game.
a
Now
shot.
we would have lost.
Um,
We couldn't try Breeze out there, bro.
the push
He was
off. The push off with the Vikings. Maybe I don't
uh,
know.
that team in my opinion, was missing one thing. It was missing the
Hmm.
receiver. But the thing about that game is everybody played bad at the same time. Like
Yeah.
it's like all your great players put out a bad game at the same time. So
Yeah.
I chalk those two up to it is what it is. But
Yeah. And
anything before that, we can do it.
the
The no
no
call.
call, that was the year. That no call and
Yeah.
that Vernon Davis, if we could have just won a ring with one of them teams, I would
Yeah.
feel so much better with Breeze going out like that. Like I would feel so much, especially probably the no call, because I do believe had we won that no call game, it wouldn't be no Bucks game. It wouldn't be none of that.
Yeah,
Because
he would have walked away.
he would have walked away. I do believe he would have walked away, and
Mhm.
trajectory would have just been changed. And Alvin Kamara would have got one. Laddie would have got one. Michael Thomas would have got one. Like all that would have been. Cam Jordan would have got one. Demario, like
Yeah.
all that would have been changed. So it's kind of heartbreaking to talk about, but at the end of the day,
I'm past
we
that, man.
got we
I'm worried
got
about the
one.
future.
Yeah, we got one. At least I could just say my team got them a ring and I witnessed it. Some people can't even say they witnessed that. Falcons. But yeah, man, shouts out to Drew Brees. He getting in that Hall of Fame. But right now, we're gonna have to talk about the all season, man. We got to talk about another player you like, Marshawn Lattimore. I'm hearing that, you know, and he got released like, and it's been some
Oh,
rumors
he's
of
gonna no, he's
he
gonna
coming
get
back.
the Saints don't need to sign him, but yeah, he's gonna get released because they save a lot of money but I don't think I think he kind of done because he tore his ACL
Mm-hmm.
on top of the hamstring issues,
Mm,
and I mean he already made his money, so unless he just want to prove to himself that to try to come back to get a year 10. I mean, he wouldn't sign anywhere for like vet minimum anyway. But the thing with corners, like when it ends, it just ends. I just look at like Jair Alexander, like his career, the last, the way it's just going the last year. Like this is how it goes for DBs. They don't even retire. They just leave the league. The league retire them. Like Stephon
mm,
Gilmore played last year and you heard nothing about him potentially playing this year, and he ain't officially retired either. And Stephon Gilmore probably a future Hall of Famer. So like it just happens. Like Patrick Peterson, when he played in 2023, nobody was signing last year. This year, he just officially retired. Like that's how it goes. So I
why don't
think
a lot
unless
of why don't a lot of cornerbacks just switch to safety, or it's not that easy as people make it seem?
it's not easy. You got to have a skill set. Now, I actually do think Lattimore had a skill set for it, but his body is done. Like he don't have the you he doesn't have his hamstrings won't hold up. So
Mm,
I do think that he had to because with a safety skill set, like you have to be a really great tackler, and he was one of the great tacklers like in the last 10 years for corners. But I don't I just think his body's finished.
mm. That's so sad, bro. Like one thing about
Yeah.
the
No,
league, bro, you always gotta have some type of you gotta have some type of backup plan if you a running back or if you a cornerback because it's literally not for long with them two positions, bro.
yeah. Especially,
So
yeah, these corners. Like I know people talk about Jalen Ramsey. Like I like Jalen Ramsey, but I do think Jalen Ramsey first team all name now, in my opinion. Like he ain't the same player. Even switching to safety, like he kind of fooled at safety, in my opinion. He's still smart, and he don't. His body hasn't broken down. Like he ain't suffered of like lower body extremity injuries, but like he ain't the same player, bro. It's just these dudes, they don't last as long as they used to. Like cornerback, you got a shelf life.
mhm, mhm. And speaking of cornerback, man, we got to talk about Atlante. I think he was just on live a
Yeah, I
couple of
seen
days
I actually
ago.
popped the no, it was like last night. I seen it popped up. I got on TikTok and he just randomly popped up. I don't follow any of these players, but like it just randomly popped up on my for you.
What he was talking
But
about.
I guess it was about like the contract. I know I heard one thing. It was like I do think the Saints, like speaking of his contract, I do think the Saints are like, I don't think it's like a foregone conclusion that he's gone. I think the Saints have a number that they probably communicated to him, and he have a number that he probably will want. I do think they're gonna communicate and they're gonna tell him to test his offers, but like I'm not just gonna say he's gone. I think with Alante is just it's weird because like I don't buy into the outside cornerback thing anymore because Quincy Riley just started the whole season. Plus Kool-Aid just started his first full season, like the whole season completely. Like those dudes gonna play now and on the outside. So like the outside stuff, versatility doesn't really matter because to me, Alante been playing for the last 2.5 seasons. He been playing slot. Now I don't think he's this great slot or great. They call it the star now. He ain't the the best star. Like slot, when we talk about slot, I'm gonna put him as a slot. So slot guys, I'm gonna include like corners like um Kenny Moore, the guy for the Patriots, Marcus Jones, like those are Cooper DeJean, those are corners who play the slot. I think they all play it better than him. Then that's not even counting guys like Derwin James and uh Devin Witherspoon, um, Nick Emanwari, Kyle Hamilton. All those three dudes, they play it better than him too. And those are like safeties playing it. But like I said, I do think he got used. I just think that like if it was me, I can if I had the right, I can pay him a 12, 13 a year. That's what I would be willing to go up to. But anything beyond that, I might just let him test the
Mm,
market. But I think he can be I think he inconsistent up and down. Like it's a bit of a roller coaster. But I don't think he's like completely like a bad player. Like I think he's a nice player that like if he can be consistent, he'll be way better.
Yeah. I do believe this past Super Bowl, I do think a lot of stock on DBs has gone up because of the way Gonzalez performed for the
Oh,
Patriots. He
but
was like,
Gonzalez is that's a pure outside corner though. So like
yeah.
when we talk about Gonzalez, we talking about like how we thought of Lattimore his first, his first years when he was young. So like
Hmm.
that's different. So I think I ain't gonna put Gonzalez in there because I think the stuff now is with the safeties. Like the safeties are really important now because these dudes not just playing safety, they playing nickel. They're playing big nickel. So I think like what Malcolm Jenkins was playing with the Saints, that's what all the good safeties is playing now. Like when he first played with the Saints, big
And,
nickel.
and Caleb Downs could do all that.
Caleb Downs can do all that. The only
And
thing I don't
outside?
think he probably no, he's not a corner.
Okay.
He can do everything probably in the back end, but play outside corner.
Okay. All right. Well, shoot, I'm all in, man. If if we go ahead on and go defense, I'm all in with Caleb Downs. If we go ahead on and go offense and get a Jeremiah Love, because I do think just like Gonzalez, he boosted up the draft stock in the Super Bowl when it comes to DBs. I do think Kenneth Walker boosted up the draft stock when it comes to running backs. So, which do you prefer? Because I've been seeing this debate: should we draft Love or should we just go ahead on and give that money to Kenneth Walker?
I don't want to pay another running back after them paying Kamara and it. I'm like sorry to say, but like after them paying Kamara, I don't want to pay another running back.
Mm.
So I think next, I think they should get rid of him. Me personally, I think that should be a post
Mm.
June 1 cut. I don't people at this point, if you still arguing against the clear decline in the numbers and even the eyes, then you just like you too fanned out. Like I was advocating that the Saints get rid like, I wanted them to get rid of Cam Jordan or not necessarily get rid of him, but like he couldn't come back on that contract that he was on. I wanted them to get rid of Tyrann Matthew. I watched the end of 2024. I had zero problem with Tyrann Matthew retiring because if you watch the games, he was probably once they made the coaching change when Da got fired, Cam Jordan looked better than Tyrann Matthew. So that's how rough it got. Like I love the players and all that, but at a certain point you gotta move on. And that's how I feel. Like obviously, we gotta fix the offensive line, but it's like stats and numbers on AK that show like, bro, he getting a yard less than what's even blocked for. Like that's on a running back. That's a running back stat. And I just think you got to move on, bro. Like this whole letting guys just retire here and take up all this cap space. That's overrated. Like it's a new era, bro. Like it's a Shuck era. It's a Kellen Moore era. Like all that breeze ties and family connections that just shouldn't be continuing on at this point. Like I think what they should do with Kamara, if you want to try to keep him on because you respect him as a franchise legend, like you can offer him a like significant pay cut, like they did Tyrann Matthew. But if that's not agreed upon, then you just got to do what's considered hard and just do a dead cap hit, do a post June 1 cut. The money that's on the books in 2027 will stay, and the money that's on the books in 2026 you'll get $10 million in relief. So that's 75% of your draft class cap hits. So I just think you got to be willing to make the hard decisions. Like even getting into Demario, I want the Saints to keep Demario, but I'm not as a with a 37-year-old linebacker, bro. You can't give him a 2-year deal. Like we got to go on a year by year process. And if he want to leave, he just go. He's still gonna retire here and go into the ring of honor, but I don't think the Saints should be scared of cap. Like when it comes to old players, the cap shouldn't be used, especially with the cap space they have. The cap shouldn't be used as like a falling on point of why they can't move on from certain players.
What about having him as a third down running back?
He's not a third down running back. He can't block.
Mm. See, I
Like,
think when
bro,
people
he
think third down running back, they think,
everything that you look at in a running back right now, he simply doesn't do it. Last year he dropped the ball a lot. Now, for about the past 2 to 3 years, he completely can't block on third downs. The Saints got the two best third down backs the Saints got is Neal and Estimated. Kendra Miller, I ain't even gonna mention because he shouldn't be on the team. AK can't play third downs because he can't block.
hmm,
It's he just like an expensive name. Like football is not how you said not for long. Like these positions stand for not for long. You can't just keep running these players out. Like it's a
you
clear drop off, and people
you
got to
think
just start accepting it.
you think Elvin got more juice than Taysom? You think he could be more productive than Taysom?
I I I think that they both names, and I think the Taysom Hill thing was embarrassing. Like he shouldn't
Mm,
have been on the team. So I'll say yeah on that. But
mm,
I think how the way fans talked about like Lattimore being washed when he got off the Saints. If Camaro was doing this with another team, they'll be saying the same thing.
mm.
But they won't
Yeah,
because he still play here.
yeah. I remember we had that debate about Alvin Kamara and Christian McCaffrey, and I
It's
was
not
saying
even
he could.
close.
I'm curious.
Christian McCaffrey and Christian McCaffrey's is washed as a pure runner. Like he's not the same pure runner, but it's not even close.
I'm curious to see who you think was a better running back out of Reggie in his prime and AK in his prime.
Oh, I'll give it. It's Kamara.
Oh,
I
okay.
told you, man. Reggie underachieved, but I think a lot of that got to do with the era. But I think that like Reggie could be the best running back in the league if he was born like ten years
Okay,
later. He
okay.
could have been the
If
best.
if if Reggie was in AK era,
Oh, he would have been better, in my opinion, because you can't, dude. That's like God given athleticism. That's like
yeah, you
unteachable.
you like that home run hitting thing, that
It's
ability.
not. It's. I like that, but like that's why I think certain players like transitions, like transcend stuff. Like I think, like I knew the Saints when the Saints were taking a corner. I knew the Saints were going to take Lattimore over any other corner in that draft because he had God given athleticism, even with those hamstrings that you couldn't teach. Like athleticism, to me, for certain spots in certain positions, athleticism matters. So that's why, I always think athleticism transcends things.
Mm-hmm. Let me know what y'all think down in the chat, man. What y'all think, man? Who y'all think got it? Who y'all think the more better complete running back in their
No, but
prime?
it's football careers. It's AK. It's easy.
No.
But I just think hypothetically, I always would say if Reggie Bush was drafted in 2016, he would have had a time where he was the best player, best running back in the league.
Hmm.
And I won't change that. But NFL wise, it's easily Reggie. Like
Okay.
I mean, it's easily AK.
All right, so you say you ain't trying to pay another running back like Kenneth Walker. What about Travis Etienne? Like he ain't gonna
I'm
get as
not.
much as
I'm
him.
not. I'm not. I'm not into Travis Etienne. Now, Kenneth Walker, we can explain. We can get there, but I guess I don't want the Saints to pay a running back because if you're still asking me, I think the best overall player of the four is Jeremiah Love. Now I know people say, "Oh, well, what if he not there?" I'm not really the biggest advocate of paying a running back. Like if we're gonna pay a running back, we can. I'll take a lower tier running back, but I don't want to pay big money again to a running back.
Do you think
And
Love has that
ET,
transition transcended
yeah,
ability?
yeah.
Hmm. Who would you compare him to?
Actually, a little version of Reggie Bush, if I had to say it, because I don't think that he's gonna be like a
Reggie Bush.
400.
I seen his highlights. He don't look like Reggie Bush to me.
No,
He
I'm
look
saying
like
like he's 6'1", 215. He can run. He's fast. Like he can really pass catch. Like he can do a lot. He
I
might not
don't know.
be. I would
I
say
don't know.
maybe even like a. He's way
Bijan.
bigger than him.
I
I'll
don't
say a
know.
little version of Bijan, but he's faster. But I don't know if he can touch Bijan workload. Bijan a better prospect than him though. Like
Mm,
I ain't gonna don't give me. I ain't gonna get disrespectful. He a way better I ain't gonna say way better, but he a better prospect. I think Bijan is the best player in our division by
mm.
like a long shot. Him and Tristan Wirfs. Like I ain't gonna lie, bro. If he ain't play for the Falcons, I'll buy that dude jersey.
Yeah, that dude Bijan, he a beast, bro. He could
Yeah,
do it all. Like he
he
could
can do
run. He got that
everything,
home run hitting
bro.
ability,
If they
catch.
didn't if they didn't play with his red zone touches, bro, he could lead, he could have won OPOI, but they was playing with his touchdowns and all that.
You dig 545 says Love isn't an every down back.
Huh? I agree, but I think that he's a back that can. I don't think that you'll see him like break down if he had to take 300 touches. And I think that's one of the issues that I see with like AK. Like AK can't would break down if he had to take more than 250 touches. I don't
Mm,
think Love. I don't think that would be a case with Love.
mm. Well, we're gonna have to see, man. Speaking of, you know, the players that we got right now who's, in their prime or whatnot, Chase Young, man, he definitely impressed me last season, bro. He really impressed me last season. I just didn't think he had it in him, and he really just catapulted. Um, I was wondering, like, do you think he could touch 15 sacks next season if healthy?
I do. I think that right now we started to see like the Chase Young that played this year. This is
Hmm.
like the one that this is what he was drafted to be. Like he don't have the quick twitch and the bendiness of the guys like a Miles Garrett, Michael Parsons, but like, bro, he when you drafted top two as a pass rusher, they expect you to be a perennial Pro Bowl, all pro level player.
Hmm.
Like, and I thought last year he looked like it. And I just think he just building upon it. I know some people been talking about signing him. His agent not gonna let him sign right now because they're gonna bank on him doing it again. But he planned for $35 million next year. Like I know he gets 17, but like, bro, if he have a 12 to 15 sack season or do the same stuff this year, but in a 17 game span, they gonna rip his contract up and restructure him before the season. Or and extend him for 30 plus million.
And the thing about him, it looked like he's genuinely happy to be in
Yeah.
New Orleans. Like he don't seem like one of them players who just got to be in some type of big market. It seemed like
Yeah.
he's genuinely happy to be. He must like them New Orleans
I think
girls out there.
I think the I
That's
think
what I
he got
think.
a I think he got a kid or whatever, but I don't but
Hmm.
let me see. Like I think they starting to transition with they like the younger players starting to like I've looked at the team like the younger players, the ones who controlling it. Other than Demario, their best players are all younger. Like I think that if I think that Chris entering in a spot where you about to become you paid, you about to get some money, become a leader. I think Chase playing for a way bigger contract next year that's in the 30s and 30s range. So, you becoming like when you getting paid like that, you got to become the leader. Then you got Shuck and Kelvin Banks emerging or coming into their own. I think of your vet leaders, he got hurt or he been getting hurt the last couple of years, but like guys under 30, probably only Eric McCoy is like the real or the guy who's been here a long time. So I just think it's like it's starting to be a changing of the guard. But I think the Saints was fortunate that like, Olave had a good season because they don't have to like I don't have to go into the draft like, oh, I have to take a receiver at 8, even though receiver one of my top 2 to 3 spots that I'm looking at. Or like Chase Young emerging. Like Chase Young emerging, he looked like a DN1. So him emerging as a DN1, I didn't have to go say, oh, I gotta take an edge rusher or like reach for an edge rusher at pick 8. So stuff
Hmm.
like that is saving them
Hmm.
because it could be way worse off. That's why I think it's so much optimism about everything because they can go in numerous directions because of the tackles, because Olave had the season he had, Chase Young had the season he had. Like they can go in numerous directions. That's why they one of the realistic teams in the top 10 that can talk about taking Jeremiah Love.
Hmm. All right, let's go ahead on and talk about this interior. Right now, a name that everybody is trashing right now is Peter Woods. I had asked, is it, just is he that much of a guy that would be a reach? Because I didn't see people say he's the next Jalen Carter. I didn't see people say he's the next Aaron Donald. He lost some weight. He added some muscle. He improved on his game from the year before from last. And a lot of people are high up on this guy. Why is a lot of people down on this guy on the
Oh, he
internet
he
though?
didn't he didn't improve his game. He got a lot worse this year. His 2024 tape is way better. but he's just not a when I think of defensive tackles that you take in the top 10, I think of Jeffrey Simmons, Quentin Williams, Derek Brown, Jalen Carter. He's not in that class at all. I think even the guy that Seattle, Leonard Williams, who's also in Seattle, like I take him top 10. I think he's like uh, a lesser refined pass rushing version, but probably a slightly better run version, but a lot less of a pass rusher version of like Byron Murphy. Like I would have Byron Murphy, who Seattle took 2 years ago. I would have Byron Murphy ahead of him,
Mm.
and he went 16th. So I just think he's a guy that's more like at best mid first round, but in my opinion, I would view him as a dude you take in like the late first round. Like I view him more like Brian Brzee than like Jalen Carter because they was in the same draft class. They're not the same players. I'm not saying I think he can go as high as 10. Like I still think he can go in the top 10 to Cincinnati because they just need players, but like on the defensive side, but
So
I don't think he's not a guy that you take. He's not a guy that we should be taking. That's a
he
reach.
he definitely not a good pairing with Brian Brzee.
I mean, I say he's probably. I would probably take him. I would take him over Brazil, but it's not like a. He's not like a guy who I'm. I don't see it. I don't see what it is with him where you're taking him in the top 10.
All I
I
know
wouldn't
is,
take
man,
him in top 15.
when you get that good interior player, bro, that changed
I know when
everything.
you get
So if
that
he go
good
to another
interior player.
team, if
When you
he
get the
go to
good
another
interior
team
player, but
and he
he's
hit,
raw. He's raw, bro. Like he ain't this refined player like the way that he was getting spoken of. They was talking about him because this season, like, oh, he's clearly the best prospect in the country, or clearly the best draft prospect. I'm like, or it's like him and Caleb Downs. I'm like, bro, he's nowhere near close to like what how Caleb Downs is at his position. He's nowhere near close to that.
mm,
None of those
I,
Clemson players are, other than AJ Terrell's brother, in my opinion, was like that.
you also mentioned receiver. Um, right now, a lot of people are debating should we take the guy Jordan, what his name is, Jordan Tyson.
Turn Tyson.
A lot of people are afraid of his injury history, and some
Tyson,
people say,
Lemon,
"Well, shit, he
Tate.
sounds like a saint to me because the injury history. You know that's our mo. Like I don't know. I'm kind of scared of a player like that, bro. I just don't
I
need.
like Jordan Tyson. I like him. I think that if it wasn't for the injury history, I think that he'll be the clear cut wide receiver one in this class. But I think the injury history gonna make people, question it. But I love his skill set. I think he worked perfectly with the Saints. Him and Olave, I think him Olave would be great with any of these guys who come here. But like I get why people are nervous about his injury history. Me personally, the broken collarbone, that don't matter to me. Like you got a broken collarbone because you went sky high for a ball and you came down wrong. Like I don't care about that. I would need to know more. He tore his ACL or he tore his knee up his freshman year at Colorado, and he basically didn't play. He transferred and didn't play the next year because they just let the knee heal. And Arizona State wasn't good anyway, so that's why he came back. Like I don't notice like a drop in athleticism at all because he used to be like a return specialist and everything his first year, and I haven't noticed any drop. So I would just want to know how his knee scope. And he had a hamstring injury this year where he missed like 3 games, and then when he came back, he got nicked up in the second game, and then he was done. But I would just need to know how that looked. But other than that, I'm in on Jordan Tyson. I like them all. I see what they all can do here. I like Tyson, Lemon, Tate, and Love. The top three really stick out.
And that's the top three in your book right there.
Yeah, that's the top three in everybody book.
Mm-mm. And ain't a lot of people down on tape right now too.
Ooh,
Tape.
uh, not really. It was Tate. Issue is like when you play next to a guy like when you play next to a guy like Jeremiah Smith, it's just gonna look like people gonna have like questions because he's like you playing next to a guy like dude. I think Jeremiah Smith like a top five. I think he like a top five receiver in the world. And when
Mm-hmm.
you playing next to a guy like that, for 2 years, and then the guy you was a three last year because they had the guy for Tampa Bay, Emeka, and like people gonna have questions like that, and then they're gonna have I think I know people some people have questions about his long speed because it's like they said the reported 40 that he ran when he first got the um Ohio State was low, but I think he a good player. I think he fit seamlessly into that like that X spot because and the stuff that he does is like some of the stuff that the Saints are missing. But then I think Lemon is 5'11", and I think that's gonna be the knock on him. I don't go to a minor St. Brown. I go to like a better Doug Baldwin. So because I
Doug
think that
Baldwin.
like St. Brown don't have St. Brown went 4th round because St. Brown's slow as hell. I don't think I don't think Makai Lemon got that problem, but I ain't gonna go to the JSN count either because he's smaller than JSN. Like JSN is legitimately close to 6'1". Like even Olave, he legitimately close to 6'1". Like these dudes, they not small. They might be slim built, but like if you round them up on a thing, they 6'1". So Lemon, the big thing for him gonna be his height. Like, is he really 5'11" or is he 5'10"? So, but I think they the three guys who stick out when you at pick 8. And then it's some other receivers who I like in the first round. I know I just spoke up one guy that went to Indiana. This dude,
Mhm.
number 3, Omar Cooper. Man, I wanted him in the second round so bad, but that kid gonna go in the first round, and it's because of me. I was telling people, I'm like, bro, he wide receiver 4 in the draft. I'm like, y'all talking about his teammate Surratt. Surratt don't separate. He just get all contested catches. Like he don't separate in college. I'm like, y'all not watching Omar Cooper. So that in my ideal world, we can get Jeremiah Love at 8 and then get Omar Cooper at pick 42 and we won. But we got a better chance of getting Love at 8, a way better chance than getting Cooper at 42, in my opinion.
Mhm. All right. Not too long ago, the Super Bowl just wrapped up. Pretty much went like how I thought it was gonna go. I think I had the Seahawks winning that game. Um, Both of these teams are in the Super Bowl, and they had very quick success with new head coaches, new quarterbacks, and just right drafting and right coaching staffing. Do you think it's a chance that the Saints could, get the blueprint from one of these teams and have a similar success? I ain't gonna say make it all the way to the Super Bowl, but just similar quick success after, a full season of a guy, and then he just well, not a full season of a guy, but after just a quick turnaround. Do you believe that the Saints could follow one of them blueprints? And
I
if
would
so,
say
which team blueprint you think is more likely?
their blueprint to follow is the Patriots blueprint. The Seattle thing, see, the thing with Seattle is Seattle was never bad. Like Seattle, they see what Seattle did. Seattle moved off people who they should have moved off of. They moved off of DK Metcalf because you do not pay DK Metcalf all that money. Why? Not saying he a bad player. DK Metcalf doesn't get open, and he don't got good hands. But they let people go. They let Pete Carroll go. Like the Seattle stuff started. It started 2 years ago, or probably even before that, because it traced back to the Russell Wilson trade. Like Seattle didn't keep the same players. They moved on from players. A lot of the players who they acquired, like they acquired them through trades. It's like especially on defense, trades and free agency, or people who failed in other destinations, or like not even gonna say failed, but like a dude who was like a UDFA and they made him a starter. Or he eventually turned into a starter. Like they did good with their draft picks and they moved on from players. And then Seattle, they went from 10-6 to 14-3. Like or 10-7 to 14-3. They were a good team last year. They missed the playoffs because they couldn't beat the Rams in close games.
Mm,
But our avenue is probably more is a lot
Patriots.
more Patriots. um, I don't think Shuck is Drake May or anything, but like, you got a younger quarterback. He shows stuff his rookie year. Um, you got some young players. Now I think the Patriots were in a bad spot. That's why they spent so much money. But I just think ours is more of Patriots. We're both gonna be playing like the Patriots played a really. the weakest schedule probably ever this year. The Saints are gonna play a really weak schedule next year, so
Mm.
we more following the Patriots blueprint.
If you like the stream, go ahead on and hit the like button. If you're liking the content, if you're not subscribed, go ahead on and subscribe. If you got any questions for Marlon, go ahead on and put it down in the chat. I'll ask y'all questions in orderly fashion. So go ahead on and put y'all question that y'all have down for Marlon. He's very insightful of the team. So if y'all have any questions, go ahead on and feel free to put them down in the chat. If you would like to come on a show, I will put the link down in the comment section as well if you want to come speak on a team. So yeah, Marlon, when it comes to Shuck, you said you don't think he's close to Drake May. Do you think he's
I'm not
more
gonna say
close
I don't think
to
he's close to Drake May. I'm just saying I'm not putting him like I'm not about to go put Shuck ahead of certain quarterbacks.
yeah,
Like
I
I'm
understand
not
what you're
doing that
saying, but
yet.
like on a skill set, similar like skill set, do you think he's
Yeah,
more
I think
closer
he
to
got a good.
Sam Darnold or Drake May?
I would say probably a mix of both. I'll say a little more Drake May because I think he can use his legs. But I got a real high opinion of like Drake May. So like
Mm,
those young that top three group out of like the 2024 class, like look, I think Shuck is a good player. I think he's gonna be good, but I'm not gonna like group him with those guys. Like I group Shuck the same way I group Jackson Dart and Cam Ward. Young dudes who showed a lot of growth and upside, and you just want to see how much they continue to grow. I ain't they gotta go another level before I go put them with the guys like because I'm not even a big Bo Nix fan, but Bo Nix got two good seasons. Like I'm not even gonna put him with them. I like Shuck's skill set though. I think the Saints got a quarterback you can win with his skill set and all that. So that's all I look for right now. I just want to see more growth. But they it's nothing they shouldn't be questioning themselves about their pick. Like they got a
yeah,
guy that they believe in and they can go build with. And that's all that matters to me.
yeah. You dig says that's what we need to do: draft and move on. Yeah, when it comes to Seahawks, I think we could move on from the Cam and we could move on from the Mario, but at the end of the day, the Seahawks had a very good team.
Yeah.
Like these
But
motherfuckers had stars all
the
over.
Seahawks got like they had like one weakness. And the only weakness that they had was really the right guard and
Hmm.
the interior of the line, but like particularly the right guard. Like they let the wrong guy. They had two LSU guards. One of them went to Carolina, dude named Damian Lewis. But if they kept Damian Lewis, that team probably would have went like 16-1. Like
Mm,
that's how good they were. That's how good he has been in Carolina, and that's like just how good the team was. It was just a really good team.
okay. You dig says, how do you feel about Jalen Polk?
Uh, he was a bad player in New England. I mean, I don't view him as a player like that's like depth. Like I stopped really rating those wide receivers on the Saints roster. Like I know what Chris is, and I view Vele as a big body three. Anything else after that is just like depth. And I wouldn't even say quality depth. I just say depth. Like if a team move on from a top 40 pick within a year, then that don't speak well to the player.
Yeah, I think everybody like have Jalen Polk as some wild
I can't.
card.
Yeah, I don't
You
even think
know,
he a wild card. I'm just gonna put him as depth. Depth. They
yeah,
gotta prove it to me. Like,
yeah, they got to prove
I,
it to me too. Like,
yeah,
yeah, all this, Jalen Polk might come and just, take the league by storm and just had this amazing year coming out of nowhere. I got to see it to
yeah.
believe it. But other than that, I know what I got up in Chris. I know what I got up in Vele. Um,
I
other
do
than
think
that,
that they need a. I do think that they need a guy that keeps Vele as the third.
yeah,
Like, I don't. I
definitely.
don't want. That's one of
I wouldn't mind
one
if
of my
Vele being the
things.
fourth.
No, yeah, but that's like that's being rich because I seen when he played, I've seen a skill set because I've been asking for a Vele type player for a long time, like that type of skill set as a big
Yeah,
body third option that can play big slot. Like, but if the Saints like they got to do something to make sure he's the third guy. I don't want him being my second
yeah.
best wide receiver. I have a problem with that. I think you don't have a good team if that's the issue.
And the good thing about Vele, he 29, but at the same time, he
He
could.
20. He 28. He turned
Oh,
29 in December. I'm gonna be nice to the man because we was born the same year. So I'm gonna be nice to him. But he is old. That's all we're gonna say. He old for he going to his third year
well, I
and
guess
he's
he's
still
gonna be
29.
29
Yeah,
in the next season. But I think the skill set that he possessed, he could do that for a lot of years. Like he could do that
yeah,
very
yeah,
well for another good 5 years, because all we want him to do is just make tough catches, get first downs, be good in the red zone. That's
yeah.
all we want him to do. Like if he could get a good 6 receptions for a good 75 yards, but out those catches with like 3 first downs in the clutch, maybe 1 touchdown in the red zone. That's all we need for him to do his job.
Hmm.
Um, and like I said, I did like the connection that he was having with Shuck, throughout the season for the little time that they played. So if they could build upon that, I'll be good with that. If y'all like the stream, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, go ahead on and subscribe and help out the channel. Hit the hype button if there's available to hit the hype button that gets the channel back into the algorithm. Go ahead on and hit the link if you want to come on stage and talk. And also, if you got any questions for Marlon, go ahead on and put your questions down in the chat. I'm gonna go ahead on and wrap things up in a little bit. So if y'all got y'all question that y'all have for Marlon, go ahead on and put them out right now while y'all got them here. And Marlon, I got to talk about something that I should have talked about in the beginning of the show, but I guess we was just around the other things. But is it a possibility Derek Carr might come out of retirement and we might get some compensation for him?
I hope so. I think the team to look at is probably like Minnesota. Um, I ain't even picky on trade compensation. Me personally, I hate the guy. I don't like him. I never liked him. I never will like him. I gave him a compliment like 10 years ago because he deserved the compliment during that time. But ever since then, like first of all, who listens to the Carr Brothers podcast? Like,
Yeah, that's crazy. But
but I mean, I hope he comes back. I'm not even gonna be picky on draft compensation. I just want, can
what's
I get another
realistic?
fourth round? Can I get a fourth round pick? If he coming back, he coming to start. Can I get a fourth round pick and then like I would ask for a fourth round pick and a 2027 six rounder or a pick that can be a six-round pick or something if he play a certain amount of starts. But really, I just want the fourth round pick, an extra pick. That's
Okay.
all I care about.
So a third round pick is too greedy, it's asking too much.
I don't think we'll get a third round pick, but you could if you package like if you throw in a fifth round pick with it, you could potentially get a third. But
So is it a team out there that all they need is a quarterback?
um, he ain't a championship quarterback. But Minnesota might take him just because like they need something else in the back end or back there.
And man, dog, it's like you need that backup too because we seen what happened with the
Oh, the
Broncos.
Saints, the Saints have their backup quarterback. It's Fisher Rattler.
Well, I'm talking about another team. Like if a team got a decent quarterback already, but probably don't feel like he's championship caliber, and they probably think that Derek Carr can be championship caliber, you will have that quarterback that's on your team already be able to at least man a ship if things go off the rails like how it went for the Broncos.
Yeah,
So I think a team might look at that and they might think, well, this third round pick might do be, you know, within reason if we trying to go for it all right now. I guess they'll have to see if he's healthy. Somebody says the Jets.
man, I just the hope maybe, but that team
Well, I
horrible.
think I think that's the team that he said he wanted to go to, right?
They have some people that I think he had like relationships with. Look, I don't care at this point, but if we can
He's
get
from
something, we can
California
get
though, right?
something. Yeah, if we can get something, that's all that matters to me.
So if he's from California, Vegas about to go get that young quarterback. I think the 49ers, they're already good with Purdy and they're already good with Mac Jones.
Yeah,
And
they ain't getting rid of they ain't
who
getting
was in
rid of
California? The
bro,
Rams.
he don't have a lot of places to go. It's like the Jets in the it's like the Jets and then it's like the Cardinals potentially, and then it's like the Jets and the Cardinals, but they bottom feeders. But let's say Jets Cardinals, who are both bottom feeders, and then it's like if he can have it his way, Minnesota or Indiana if they let Daniel Jones go. Like that's all it really is. Like ain't a lot of places he can go.
Pittsburgh.
I ain't going maybe, but like man, them people in Pittsburgh, I don't know. I don't care where he goes. As long
Pittsburgh.
as he get the hell away from me. That's all I care.
Pittsburgh, the dang. Mm, I can't really think of no other team.
I ain't say the Dolphins,
Minnesota.
but because I think the Dolphins gonna be. See, I think them teams in the AFC East gonna be so bad. That's why it's hard for me to get with the Dolphins or the Chiefs. But I mean, the Dolphins are whatchamacallit, because dog, the Dolphins and the Jets is competing for the number one pick. Their goal is to get the number one pick next year.
One
They
crazy
don't
who that
need.
says forgot about the Colts, but I think they're in
I put
love
the
with
coach. I put the
Daniels.
coach. I put the coach in there. But I do think they're gonna keep Daniel Jones. Hell, they traded their first round pick. They damn near in debt to Daniel Jones. Both of their first round picks. The next 2 years, they don't got to pick in a strong draft class like next year. You don't got to pick. I'll be mad as hell.
Mm. I'm trying to think. It got to be some team out there who could be desperate enough to give us a third, maybe a fourth. Like I would take a fourth, boy.
No,
Like
that's it. All I want is support, bro.
yeah, if we could get a fourth from him and we had recouped some of that money off that contract, boy.
They already got the money that they already got the money back. So like whatever contract, like the dead money this year is the dead money that's gonna come in 2026, and they out.
That'll be crazy if he do go to the Falcons. Like, just imagine we get to play Derek Carr twice a year. That'll
Oh,
be
that's a
box
team
office.
that's a team that like fit, but the Saints wouldn't do that.
Why
They not
not?
just gonna hand. They not just gonna hand. The pick would have to be a lot higher. I don't think they would just hand a team a starting quarterback.
Mm, shit, boy, that'll make for some good sales and the rivalry, boy. This a man. That'll be some good stuff right there, boy. You mean the Falcons? Yeah, man. I can't really think of a team right now that'll be perfect for Derek Carr. That'll just be a certified playoff team. But one thing I can say about Derek Carr, this is what I can say about Derek Carr. Uh, Sam Darnold, that comeback story he had, a lot of people are going to try to emulate that. A lot of people are going to try to emulate that if they already feel like they have a very good team as far as O line, defense, running backs, playmakers. If they feel like they got that team, I think a lot of people will go ahead on and just swing for the fences because Sam Darnold showed you it's possible. You know,
I think Spencer Rattler can show more than Derek Carr. If you're going off that scale,
do you think we should trade Spencer Rattler if the
no, I would
team
keep him.
if a
If
if a team give us
they
the
would have to come with a certain draft pick, but I would keep him other than that.
what draft pick would you think would be a good compensation?
Like a fourth round pick, or like a fourth round pick, or if a team
Mm,
said, "Hey, you throw in your fifth, we'll give you a third," I'll do that.
mm, okay. If you like the content, go ahead on and hit
I
the
don't think
like
he's a
button.
starting quarterback, but
I think he can make something shake. I think if Spence Rattler was on the Broncos, Sean Payton could have made some shake with him more than that quarterback that he had.
who Stidham?
Yep,
Probably, yeah, I'll
I
say
would
that.
like to see
But
that. If we trade Spence Rattler wherever he go, I'm gonna be rooting for him. I like that dude. For some reason, I just like that dude. But
mhm.
if we trade him and he turned out to be a decent quarterback, I'm gonna be happy for him. If he turned out to be trash, then it is what it is. But I do love Shuck. I love Shuck. I don't really think they got too many, glaring weaknesses of Shuck. Like I'm very happy with him. I think he has more athleticism that I gave him for. I think he has more accuracy that I gave him for. A lot of them passes I seen him make, he was putting that ball in the bread basket.
Hmm.
A lot of people were worried about his way he's going to handle the blitzes. I think he's tough in the pocket when it comes to delivering the ball on the blitz.
I think he get himself sacked. That's one negative on him.
Well, every quarterback
He
gonna
get
have
himself no
some
no no.
negative.
But that's a new age QB thing. Like a
I
lot
don't
of these
know.
young guys get themselves sacked a lot. Like Drake may do it. Jaden Daniels do it, trying to keep the play alive. Bo Nix do it. Caleb Williams probably the only one that like had a drastic improvement. But even 2024, man, he got himself sacked a lot. Like it's a thing with new quarterbacks.
I think every player gonna have some type of downside, but as long as you got that redeeming factor, it's okay. Just like Sam Darnold, I think he led the league in turnovers, but he made it to the playoffs, ain't have no turnovers. So as long as you got some type of redeeming quality where you can make up for this weakness, I think that's all that really matters.
Yeah.
If you like the content, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, go ahead on and subscribe. If you got any questions for Marlon, go ahead on and put it down in the chat. I might stay on for like another 10 minutes, then I'm gonna let him go ahead on and get up out of here. But go ahead on and put your questions down in the chat. We're gonna just rapid fire this thing off, for the last 10, 15 minutes or so. But as far as compensation for Spence Rattler, if we could get a fourth for him or a fourth for Derek Carr, that'll be love right there. I would love for Derek Carr to go somewhere in the division though. That'll be box office right there. But I don't think that the Panthers will feel like they need him. I don't think that the Bucks will feel like they need him. I think I think that the Falcons they probably looking in another direction to go off from what's their quarterback name? I didn't forgot his name already.
Michael Penix.
Michael Penix. And I think that Kirk Cousins, I'm surprised he ain't just retiring. Kirk
He
Cousins
gonna
ain't
be able to
retired?
steal $10 million from somebody.
Man, that's crazy. That dude just getting these checks like that. But yeah, man, if Derek Carr could go to the Falcons, I'm all for it. Now, if he goes somewhere else and he's in the conference, I wouldn't mind him going to the conference and if we get a chance to play him, because I do want to play Derek Carr. I want to play him bad. If he come back, I know Cam Jordan want to get that sack. I know Cam Jordan want to get that sack on him. You know,
I'll bring back Bounty
um,
Gate.
I don't even think we need to bring back Gate to sack his ass. Them sweeping the Saints was their Super Bowl. They'll never win the big one for years to come. Talking about the Falcons. The Falcons swept us last year. I forgot.
Yeah, they did.
Hmm. See, it wasn't that big of a deal because I don't even remember.
I didn't care. I didn't want to win that last game.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
I
Shuck is the
wanted that
real
draft
deal.
pick.
I'm more concerned about Kellen Moore's offense. What you concerned about? I
I'm a
think.
I'm a I'm a let me explain this. I feel like I I think that it's stuff in the offense that need to change, but I think that like I, I don't know if you mean more concerned about the offense than the defense, because I think the Saints have some defensive holes too. Like I do think I think the Saints' biggest hole defensively, in my opinion, is I think that they need. I think I ain't gonna count the secondary, bro. They played three young players who was like starting for the first time. So I think the secondary would be
Mhm.
better. Even if like Alante left, I think the secondary would be better. I think that Eric Reed will be better now that the players have a full year of experience. You got to realize what he was playing with in Kansas City. He wasn't playing with rookies. He was playing with dudes who played, them guys played big games for 3 straight years. So when you come around, you basically got to coach kids like Kool-Aid,
That's
first
a
year
good
as a
point.
full-time starter, Jonas Shanker, first year starting rookie, Quincy Riley, first year starting rookie. Like it was stuff that Jonas Shanker messed up that Reed was taking the blame for, and that Reed was taking the blame for, but like it wasn't his fault.
Mhm.
So I think that he'll be a lot better. But I do think that the Saints secondary is like one of those places. Even if Alante left, I think they can use one. They can either use a bigger upgrade from Alante. I'm on the thing. They can use a bigger upgrade from Alante, or they can use like another corner or something. But I think that that unit just needs one thing. Defensively at linebacker, I think that I think they'll be fine at linebacker, but I do think that even if Demario came back or left, I think that they can get another guy to replace him. Now it's gonna be hard to replace. He is Saints legend, so it's gonna be hard to replace stuff like that. But I think more so along the defensive side, like finding the interior defensive lineman or getting another edge. But I'm gonna say since they got Chase Young, the interior defensive lineman is like what you should really be looking for. I just think that it ain't a lot of great ones. Unless you can get one at 42, because I do think it's some guys in this draft who gonna be really good. Just none of them worth the pick where the Saints at. But the offensively, I think the Saints, especially with Shuck, you gotta tell Brandon Staley, look, I'm gonna add some stuff, but we got a quarterback, the timeline has changed. I gotta support this quarterback because the Saints, I think the Saints missing a lot of stuff offensively. My opinion, I think the Saints need two guards, not one, two. They need two starting guards. I think that you need two starting guards. You need your McCoy insurance. But I do think the good thing that you have is look, I think McCoy, even with the injuries, I think he's one of the best centers in the league. Like, I think and they don't make a lot of centers like him. You just gotta hope he stay healthy. If he get hurt next year, then it's time to move on. But you don't get rid of McCoy. He a great player. You just got to stay healthy. But he's another player. He'll benefit more if you put better players right next to him. When you playing next to a guard like Trevor Penning and just shit like that, like you're more susceptible to getting hurt. But I think the Saints need two guards. I think the Saints need at least a wide receiver two on the team, or a guy that's a 2/3. If he's not a bona fide two, I think the Saints need another tight end that's, I would say, of uh that's a version of 2024 Taysom or 2024 Foster Morrow or better, but hopefully better. But 2024 Foster Morrow, that's a good tight end too, especially if Jawan Johnson gonna play the way that he played last year. So I think they need a tight end like that. I think they need two guards. I think they need a wide receiver 2/3, hopefully a two. And I think they need a starting running back. But I can redo the whole running back room, in my personal opinion. Because if you told me the Saints got Kenny Gainwell as their RB2 and took Jeremiah Love and that's their top guy, I think their running back room is way better. With Devin Neal as the three, I think their running back room is like drastically improved. They need to do stuff that can help elevate the quarterback. The quarterback, Chuck shouldn't just be elevating the Saints. And I think that's the some of these teams that end up being the issue. Like I know last year, I know he got hurt, but like Jaden Daniels, one of the problems with DC is they fired the offensive coordinator, which they should have. But like one of the problems was when Terry McLaurin wasn't there and then Debo Samuel was getting hurt, like you're asking him to elevate like players who are like practice squad level players. And I don't think that that should be the case with young quarterbacks. Like, yes, this young quarterback is really good. He was damn near like he was like fifth place in the MVP race last year, but he shouldn't be responsible for elevating players that's just like that shouldn't be on a game day roster. Like I think that teams got to help elevate the quarterback too. Like these quarterbacks, no matter how good they are, they still young. Like I think Chicago did a great job of elevating Caleb Williams. They added a lot of talent. They got like a Chicago, one of them teams, but the best weapon on the team, the best player offensively on the team, not looking at the offensive line, is the tight end. Like they tight end. If he was in the draft this year, I would take him at 8. Like so, you got to add talent to the team. Like DJ Moore, if you really like look at it, they might trade him, they might not. But DJ Moore, if Roma Duzé is healthy and mentally playing right, DJ Moore is probably like the fourth best pass catching option on their team. And I think that's like the environment that the Saints should be trying to create, where you can help the quarterback.
Hmm. We got one crazy who that says, y'all got y'all questions, put them in the comment section. This next question is one crazy fan who that says, if Love or Downs is there, who we drafting?
I'm taking Love because I got to help this quarterback. I got to elevate this offense. I think that Shuck Ho president. Now I like both. I don't think Downs will be there. I know it's all a debate about it, but like I think Downs gonna go. I think Downs gonna go to pick ahead of us
Hmm.
because DC need defense. That's the worst defensive personnel I've seen in years.
I thought Kansas City was in front of us.
Nah, Kansas City behind us, and I don't think Kansas City can trade back. I know people want them to. I don't. I don't. I don't think you can trade back because I don't think. First of all, I don't think Rasheed Rice is that good. I think he's a solid player, but I think he like a gadget two. He a gadget slot two receiver, and then you got like he always in some shit, and then I don't think that they, especially with the like the money that's allocated on that team, I don't think that they can just give away draft picks just to get a running back.
All right. You said you want to elevate Shuck. Who you think will be more elevating for the offense and Shuck? Love, or if we go with one of the wide receivers?
I would say Love because I think a running back is a quarterback's best friend. Because I think even if you inserted Love, I can see stuff that opening up. Like when you watch that first Saints Falcons game, the one where Vile and Olave played,
Hmm.
it was stuff that they wanted to try down the field that they simply couldn't try because the team had no respect for the running backs that was on the field.
Hmm.
Like they was just stacking the. They was just they can keep two safeties back because there's no running back or stuff like that. Like the way that their alignment was, like the team had zero respect for whoever they was putting on the field in the back end. Like a great running back can shift coverages because like now I got to keep some guys. I got to keep guys back or move guys in and out the box, stuff like that. So I would say Love. Like Love hold precedent for me over all these wide receivers. Now, if you told me it was like Jeremiah Love versus like Malik Neighbors, I'm probably going Neighbors.
Hmm.
But over these receivers, who I like them, but I would take Love over them.
Hmm. Okay. All right, man. I'm gonna let you go ahead on and get up out of here, man. You could give me your closing thoughts on what you think about the Saints. Coming forth with this off season about to ramp up, and you can also let the people know where they can find you at on Twitter.
My closing thoughts is shit. The new season start tomorrow, basically with the combine coming this week. You got the measurements and all that, and then free agency in 2 weeks. So, it's exciting. It's a lot of like everybody got energy when talking about the Saints because it was depressing last year, even with the coaching change, because Derek Carr was still a quarterback and all that, technically still a quarterback, but I just think everybody should be excited. I think that they know what they have to do, know what they have to do. I even like the way that they answer certain questions in press conferences. Like they admitted that Isaiah Foskey was a mistake. They said they want to win a division, but they don't want to win a division at 8-9. They want to win a division at like 11-6 and actually
Mhm.
do something in the playoffs. So I think they know what's up. And again, what I want to say earlier, they have to spend outside money this year. So like the Saints actually have to be active in free agency with like the CBA. It's like six teams that got to be active in free agency, or eight
Yeah.
teams who are required to spend at least $50 million in free agency on outside players. So that right there showed me they might sign two guards
Mm.
and a tight end, and like they gon' I do my little mock drafts. They gonna do some stuff that's gonna help this team this offseason. And
Okay.
they can start structuring contracts a certain way too, because you got so much like upcoming cap flexibility. Now a lot of it is next year and beyond, but man, $8 million over the cap for the Saints might as well be $100 million in free cap
Mm.
space.
Hmm.
So I do think they're gonna have a good offseason. I just think I need them to know that look, Shuck shouldn't have to necessarily elevate this team. We got to do right by him. That you
Hmm.
got to do right by the young quarterback. He ain't of that Drew Brees. What Drew Brees? Hey, Drew Brees, go make. I'll give you Chris Olave, but the rest of the wide receivers, I need you to elevate him. I don't think that we shouldn't be doing that with Shuck.
Right. All right, man. Go ahead on. Let the people know where they can find you at on Twitter.
Yeah, y'all can follow me on Twitter at it's rainy doe ITSRAINEYDOE, and I'm just giving a lot of sports takes, particularly on the Saints and stuff like that.
All right. Shit. Thanks for coming on the show, Marlon. We definitely gotta talk again as the off season progresses, and we definitely gotta have your insight on the show, man. I think the people liked you in the comment section. So, man, until next time, man, you have a good one, man.
All right, man, you take care.
All right.
All right.
Yeah. Shouts out to Marlon, always giving his time, coming to the show, giving his thoughts on the team. Very insightful. One of those fans who, know about the cap, one of those fans who really know about the draft, know about the combine, just all the other nuances of, being a fan and keeping up with your team. But I want to know, go ahead on and hit your opinion about the Saints in the comment section. How do y'all feeling about the team upcoming? Are you high up on the team? Are you just trying to have low expectations so you don't get your heart broke? But I do think the Saints are in for a good season. We definitely going to come up with predictions. We definitely going to look into, the combine. We definitely going to look into the draft. We definitely going to look into free agency. And it's a lot of content to be coming up on the channel, man. So y'all go ahead on and hit the like button if you enjoyed the show. Go ahead on and subscribe if you're not. And until next time, man, I'm out. Who that?